Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Pokemon players, non-Pokemon players alike, fans of PFL, people from other leagues, people who just happen to stumble upon this. And that one guy who's always in our chat, isn't it Jarrett? Is his name Jarrett? Mike, do you
Who
remember?
is that guy?
Who is it? Jaren? Is he watching this?
Who is that guy?
I like you. I like that guy. Welcome to Inside the PFL. It is, or rather it was, week 7. I had to get that in my head because everything's messed up because of the bye week. I'm Jim. I'm joined here today by Mike.
As you guys already know by me asking repeatedly, who is that guy?
Yes.
Because I really want to know who this guy is who's in our chat every week.
Listen, he might love the content, you know? He might love the broadcast.
He loves to hear Joe's ear-piercing screams.
You know, that's funny because I was watching the broadcast like at dinner with my girlfriend. We weren't at like a restaurant or anything. Like we made dinner and sat down, whatever. And I was watching it, and she was like, "That guy's laugh is really funny." She's talking about Joe.
Oh, it's the exact opposite then because my lady hates it.
Really?
It's great.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh man, it's so loud. It hurts my ears."
She was like, "Can you play that back for me? Like that was really funny." Like, but you have no idea what just happened. Like something nuts just happened.
Yeah, that's what I tell her too. I'm like, you don't get it. It's just type train.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
All aboard, choo choo.
But yeah, so maybe he's like my girlfriend. You know, maybe he just loves Joe's enthusiasm and production value and all that. But
it's so good.
Good on you. I hope you stay in the chat. I hope you love PFL, whatever your name is.
It's Jarek. I think you're right.
Jarek. Okay, I said Jarrett, but I knew it started with a J. Cool. So yeah, let's get right into it then. That was a little, that's a little off track, but start us off. We have Lebo versus Rob.
Bobby.
And Bobby. Oh man, yeah. Let's play it because as we see across the field, it is Galarian Slowbro, and. You know, Rob, even though he's got these mons weak to ice and crazy stuff like that, like, you know, it doesn't matter. Lebo's got the double weather. Oh, that's something that happened in this match. Lebo forgot Drizzle Pelipper.
So, first of all, this Jolteon's been burned so many times, and I want to know if he's had Quick Feet any of the times.
Even if that happened, it doesn't matter because Quick Draw it pops twice in a row, kills the Jolteon, and then Ice Beams the Hippowdon, which is awesome. Which I don't even know if Slowbro would have outsped Hippowdon otherwise.
Oh yeah, it is right now. I think it would have.
It did just outspeed.
Well, no, but hold on, it's because it's a down speed before it cursed.
Yeah, because Slowbro might be base 30. Hippowdon might also be base 30.
I remember getting so mad at Rob in this game because he just starts throwing boys away. Because I'm like, just go into Gliscor.
Yeah, I actually remember that too. Because you can, like, Hippowdon, I don't think gets any of the elemental fangs. You proc the free Toxic Orb. Yep. And surprisingly, yeah, so Drizzle doesn't come out. Lebo says, big yikes. And I don't blame him because now whatever water type move you're hitting him with isn't doing nearly as much damage. And you can't safely click a Hurricane.
What was he... Why did he bring Pelipper? Like, he doesn't really need Drizzle because he's not bringing Golduck.
I think... Here's my sort of logic for that. Pelipper's not bad, like, defensively. Like, it's a pretty decent defensive pivot besides weather. Like, it gets U-turn, like, Scald, Hydro Pump. Like, it's... Especially with booties, it's not that terrible. But he meant to bring Drizzle, though. That's the...
Yeah. I mean, I guess Vicious Wrens in the rain are even scarier than just Vicious Wrens.
It's probably to break past, like, maybe Clefable or Duraludon or something that sort of, you know, maybe can eat it, you know?
Or, you know, it does just fuck Gliscor up, and even Aerodactyl.
Yeah, the Ice Punch, you see Rob lets him go down, even though he revealed the Ice Punch earlier, which is one of those, why are you, you know, do you need Gliscor for anything? I guess not. It's not a huge deal. And here, Duraludon just pulls it out. He's able to eat the Vicious Rend. And, yeah, he just Oko's back with that Dragon Pulse.
It was a good win on Bobby's end. I'm about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the quick draw definitely helped him out, but it was nice to see him get yet another win. I'm happy he brought quick draw because I
Yeah.
was like, yo, dude, you can do that.
I think that Lebo was very hindered getting. Well, one, Pelipper not having Drizzle, it made him a lot less of an offensive threat. And
Yeah.
then Jolteon going down very early stopped a lot of momentum that he could have potentially had to get into Dracovish, into Excadrill, actually like being able to utilize the sand that Hippowdon set up, because Hippowdon went down early as well.
It did.
And he wasn't able to sort of scrounge it back, and then just sort of had like pieces of a team and not a whole thing, and Bobby just sort of took advantage of that.
I also think quick draw kind of won Bobby the game, just because like if he went into Gliscor earlier, like Pound Town was the best he was going to do was hit Toxic there and proc the Toxic Orb earlier.
Yeah.
Like Rob lost nothing by going into Gliscor. He could have definitely had this match by a much higher margin because he could have kept Galarian Slowbro alive.
And that,
and Zangoose. He could have had Zangoose and Galarian Slowbro still going and could have possibly had this as a +3 or just had a much stronger lead.
Yeah,
it ended up coming down to let's see if Geraldine eats his hit real fast.
And what's funny too is that Zangoose, he wasn't sashed or anything. I gotta believe he was Toxic Orbed. But the Earthquake from Hippowdon did 99%. Like exactly 99%. And then he died to the chip damage from the Sandstorm. So, you know, even if he did live it, you know, your +1 defense Hippowdon, you can't hit Facade because you're not Toxic. I don't know. It was sort of questionable plays. But either way, Bobby pulled it out. He was able to beat Lebo's beast of a team.
And come into a nice, I think he's 3-3 right now?
He is 3-3. He's even.
Which is very nice. Good job, Bobby. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
this is the best you've done since like season 2.
Yeah, I mean the best record in our league right now is 5-1, and Bobby's 3-3. So that's like that's in the middle ground. That seriously is.
Yeah, he's keeping up. I'm proud of him this season. He's definitely,
cool.
Good job, Bobby.
Yeah. So that was that battle. Very quick, only 20 turns, and only a +1, but still, the dub's a dub.
Yep, moves him up.
Yep. Alrighty, into the next battle. So here we got Thomas v Tristan, and I don't know if you remember this match.
Thomas v Tristan. I remember Thomas wins.
I do remember
that.
Thomas
wins.
Wait, does he?
I'm like fairly sure that Thomas wins because Cursula?
That's a great question. Does Thomas win?
Find out if I were not lazy and picked up my phone and went to Discord.
I also just did that. And no, Tristan won like a lot.
Oh, Tristan did big wins. Okay.
Yep, okay.
Wins.
I sort of remember that too. Because I remember Ice Cube sort of popping off, but...
Oh, yeah, Thomas couldn't get around Hail Ice Cube.
Yep, so let's... Oh, he could have, is the thing. But he didn't...
Rotom Heat die.
Yes.
I remember. Thomas starts off so fire, too.
Like this right here, the Grassy Seed, Grassy Glide, immediately Swampert's out of the way. Rotom Heat has no more problems in the entire game.
Yep.
Rotom Heat does all of the work. Acrobatics...
This Acrobatic would have killed if the lunge didn't happen.
Yep, Super Heat. Lunge Buzzwole, very cool as well. Decides to go for the Grassy Glide. I'm
surprised there he just didn't go into Cursula.
Yeah.
Right there.
And then letting Rillaboom go down that early definitely hindered him in the rest of the game. Aerial Ace is interesting as a coverage move, but I think that a neutral like Outrage will probably do more anyway.
Dude, Regigigas putting in the work, eating these overheats.
19%.
Just eating overheats.
Dude, and it misses the Willow too.
The biggest of yikes.
Yeah, no, this Rotom's getting just beat up left and right by this thing. And then he decides to leave, which I guess, burn the Whimsicott, like, that's totally fine.
Well, I mean, it wasn't his fault. The sticky barb, there it is. And we all saw this coming.
Yep. The classic Tristan switcheroo/trick play.
Yep. Except it wasn't turn 1 this time.
Yep, which was a little surprising. I like Calm Mind Necrozma, although it is slower than the Buzzwole.
Yep.
Which I sort of was surprised about, because I'm pretty sure Buzzwole's like, I don't know.
It might have been Scarf.
70? Was it Scarf?
Scarf was
Oh,
a pretty common kit. It might have been.
yeah. You know, it must have been because he just went for lunge twice and he outsped a Rillaboom.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And
and
then this takes exactly 50.
Scald was weird. Scald almost seemed like a throw. Like it, and we find
Yeah.
out later that it had did it have Leech Life, I think?
Yeah, it had Leech Life.
So I don't know if he was expecting Regigigas to come in or something, or
Yeah, I
but
don't know
like
what
there's
he
no
was
reason
expecting.
for Hoopa to leave because Hoopa has the Dark Pulse, so you can just slam it again. The Colbur Berry's
Yep.
gone. You outspeed Cursula. Scald just seemed like a weird choice in that moment.
See, this should have been a Volt Switch and not an Overheat. Thomas should have saw this was coming and started playing Tristan's game with him.
Yeah. Instead, you're taking that chip Sticky Barb damage, which Switcheroo Sticky Barb is like kind of memey, but it's also like it works out really, really well.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hilarious how well it's worked because he's done it a few times now.
Yeah, it's a status you can't get rid of.
Strength Sap. Ink.
Yeah, and
Love
then
it.
all of a sudden, oh yeah, and then this happens too. Is that Regigigas actually gets over his slow start as he's in, and
And then has to leave.
both the players blink.
They have
They're
to.
like,
Well, yeah.
"Oh." And okay, we get Whimsicott and we get Sandaconda.
Which is not where Thomas wants to be.
No, of course not. Back into Cursula immediately, and
That was actually smart, though, so the switcheroo can't happen again.
yeah. But what did he
Some
switcheroo
crap.
off the? He had heavy duty booties, so he would have switcheroo to heavy duty booties with whatever Cursula or Sandaconda had. So it wouldn't have been like,
Well, Cursula had no item.
yeah.
With the Colbur Berry.
Oh, but I didn't think that's how that move worked. I didn't think that Trick or Switcheroo, like, even
Yeah,
if one
if one
Pokemon
item
doesn't have it,
exist,
it doesn't
it
work.
fails.
Really? Okay, I thought it.
I just
didn't-
found
didn't
that
know
out too. I just found that out too. They were talking about it on the broadcast.
Oh, and the head
Missed the head
smash.
smash, and
Ugh.
Thomas doesn't hit overheat.
Yeah, yeah, that was the
He
biggest
tries
problem.
he tries to get the read there and play Tristan's game, and instead he doesn't, and he
Yep.
quits. Tristan
Which-
gets a nice +4.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's gonna happen because although honestly, if he kept playing and head smash missed again or whatever Tristan went for missed,
Yeah,
you get him down a couple pegs. Maybe you overheat the Ice Cube, kill it, or you could probably even Volt Switch this thing because it's only at 40 and its special defense at this point is maybe like 70. And then what does he go into? Hoopa?
yeah.
I don't know. And
Or Whimsicott.
Hoopa's at 53 and burned.
Yeah, but hold on. Go over Rotom's HP, and then remember that
It's 21. Yeah, it would only live 2 more turns, but you could get 2 more kills out of it. So
Yeah, but I
best case scenario.
I don't rage quit, as we'll talk about later. But Thomas did this.
Oh
this
yeah,
week, and
wait.
I get
This is gonna take 2 hours. I forgot
Oh,
about your battle.
Boy,
Okay.
I will never forget about my battle.
I never will either because I know that feeling and it's not a good one. But a very solid +4 from Tristan. Definitely, I thought that there was good things coming from both sides. Like Thomas started the game really, really strong. The Sticky Barb definitely messed him up. There were some weird plays that went on, like the Scald from the Cursula. But I thought that Tristan played really good with Regigigas and Buzzwole. Sort of just made it happen.
Yeah, Regigigas really just put in the work there.
Yeah,
Is
and
what happened.
this
You know what
Ice
Tristan
Cube.
Colton did well? Ice Cube 2. Thomas got flinched on a Dark Pulse on Necrozma, and it was going to be Signal Beam, so that would have made a lot of difference. Joe might have been the one to tell me that.
Did he get flinched on a Dark Pulse? Necrozma
Yeah.
came in. Da.
Dark Pulse super effective.
Yes, there it is. Turn
It was going to
13.
be Signal Beam, which would have just melted Hoopa, which is
Yeah.
not even close to survive. So
No, especially not a +1.
that could have very much mattered in this game. Like 110%, that could have changed the whole outcome of this
Yep,
game.
because then Necrozma still has, +1 special attack, +1 special defense. Maybe it even has like Moonlight or something.
Yeah.
Because I think it gets a recovery move.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It gets Moonlight. You're right.
And and that could have totally brought it back. But that's the
whole
thing,
game,
man.
yep.
Those 20%, They'll get you.
I think it's 30, but you're right.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know. But either way, +4 from Tristan. Super strong showing. And now he is top of the division.
Yeah, and that +4 definitely doesn't hurt him.
For sure. Alrighty, into the next battle, and let's just.
You can just start it now.
I'm gonna start it now, and I'm gonna switch the sides because.
It's like 80 turns of me hating everything because I realize here I didn't fucking bring knockoff.
Oh, like no knockoff at all.
So I didn't bring Gligger not Gligger, I'm sorry. I didn't bring Weavile because I was very afraid that every time he saw Weavile, Scarfixini would come in. I mean, I could have hit knockoff. I made a mistake.
There's a lot of reasons that Weavile might not be the option. Because Weavile's fast and hits hard. But Scolipede +1 outspeeds. Mawile, even a Sucker Punch, has anything done to it. Zorora outspeeds. Scarfixini outspeeds.
There was just a lot of things, so I didn't bring Weavile, and in the end, Weavile would have just really made or break this game.
Yeah.
And it was just the whole time I realized that the only way I was going to win this game is if either RNGesus helped me or if I caught him in a switch. And every time I doubled, he doubled. And it was a lot of good switching on the two of us to even have made it this far. This game should have ended a lot earlier.
That's exactly it. I mean, you get, 30, 35 turns in. And, again, you're hoping for the flinches with Iron Head. You're hoping for the freezes or the crits with Ice Punch. Or, every time he sees HP Ice. Oh, Aromatisse.
And I don't have Volt Switch. I have Defog here. It's Defog, Heat Wave, Thunderbolt.
I see. Okay. Because everybody was wondering why
didn't I Volt Switch?
You don't
oh my god, I would have if I had it. The momentum alone, yeah.
Totally. He goes into Zorora there, which is like a little Toxic Zorora, kind of hilarious.
Yeah, right. I expected the Plasma Fists there.
Yep. And I don't know what this Aromatisse's hit is either.
It's just I can't get around Aromatisse. Out of all of the Mons on his team, I can't get over Aromatisse and Gligger.
I know.
I prepped so hard for the top heavy part of his team, and then Aromatisse and Gligger.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I thought, okay, Zapdos walls Gligar back. You could potentially run out the Wishes or run out the Roost or something and force his hand.
If I had my own Roost or any kind of recovery on this team this week that wasn't leftovers, yeah, but I didn't. And he knew it, so all he had to do was stall me out.
Yeah, and which is, I wouldn't say very spectator friendly, but I mean, if you got the core, it's working. Just go for it,
Yeah, I can't fault him for it, man. If I had I've won games by just outstalling people.
Yep. And getting Druddigon on a timer as well. I don't know exactly what the Druddigon set is, but they're never.
Dragon
I don't think
Tail,
ever
Rocks,
a point.
Glare, Earthquake.
I don't know if rocks go up at all.
It did.
It goes
they
up.
Went up.
Not here, but.
No, earlier it happened already, and he.
And he defogged
them away.
Gligar. Yep.
I couldn't get over those boys.
This switch to Victini was kind of strange.
I can't believe I lived.
Well, you must have been invested in special defense or something.
I was Assault Vest, physically defensive invested.
Okay, yep. AV Registeel, holy crap. That's a lot. I mean, 80-150 is a crazy special defense, actually.
Ate it.
Yep.
I couldn't. It's turned 38 and both of us have one Mon dead, and it's just he knows that the longer I play this game, the worse I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Just because I can't get over these things.
It is definitely just exhaustion. And there too, Plasma Fist does so much damage.
So much damage.
And you get the burn. And
I got the burn on Heat Wave, which was nice.
And you're probably thinking okay, Aromatisse is paralyzed. I get some good para hacks. He can't get wishes off. I still have Zapdos with HP Ice and,
And then I get the crit here with Stone Edge, and I see 20%, and then all my hopes go away.
There's a very tiny amount of hope, but...
No. As soon as that crit happened with the Stone Edge and I only got 20% on it, all of my hope went away.
Yeah, that's a massively physically defensive Gligar.
There's just nothing I can do.
And then the aromatherapy happens, and then I sort of cringed a little bit. I was like, oh no, this is it. Like, I'm literally just watching Mike get walled by a weird looking plague doctor in pink skirt like thing.
It was definitely not fun for me to watch because, I watched it happen because it was in front of me. I didn't play this game. Like, I knew very early that I lost this game.
Yeah. And by turn 50, not that you're halfway over with the battle, but there's some things to be done. You haven't even gotten to Scolipede or Mawile or anything. It's just these two mons just keep coming in and in and in.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything about them.
And sometimes that's the game you play, Sometimes there's hyper offense and then there's hyper defense. And if you find the core that like is able to work as well as this one did, especially because it's cheap too. You wouldn't expect like, oh, Gligar and Aromatisse, like how good could they be together? And then you realize like, oh, wait a minute, like one covers knockoff, like they sort of cover each other's weaknesses. They're, Gligar at least has a pivot. Aromatisse keeps Gligar healthy. It's rough.
It was not enjoyable, and it's crazy just looking at it how much Weavile would have done in this match.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is that it's all hindsight too. I wish I brought this. I
brought Weavile every week, and like I wanted to at least not do that. I mean, I know I bring most of the same mons every week, but like I switch out one or two of them.
Yeah. And what was Weavile. And without spoiling too much, was this the game that you were like, all right, Zapdos is not the heavy hitter that a 200
I've been trying
to
put Zapdos for weeks, dude.
Okay.
Remember I told you I wanted the Rotoms and everything? No, I get Zapdos is good, but I don't like how Zapdos plays. It's just I can't figure it out.
It's a little too balanced for Pokemon, I think. He's got recovery, he's got hazard removal, he's got offense, he's got pivoting, like he's defensive, Rocky Helm. He can do sort of everything, but at the same time, he doesn't do any of those things as good as other Pokemon do those things.
Next season, he's getting buffed. I'm fairly sure he gets Air Slash.
He doesn't already have Air Slash?
No, that's a big problem with him is he has Air Cutter, I'm fairly sure.
Well, all right. You might as well run HP Flying.
You're making me feel like an idiot because now I'm like, does he have Air Slash?
No, I think you might be right.
I'm fairly sure it doesn't.
Or no, I think it has Air Slash. It doesn't have Hurricane.
No.
Unless I don't know. But either way, we're getting toward the end of the battle. Probably could have sped it up. But you're on your last legs, and
it does not. It does not get Air Slash. It gets Air Cutter. Okay. I was right.
Gotcha. But it will get Air Slash come Crown Tundra.
I'm like 90% sure that happens. We're going to get Raikou with Scald.
Yep.
So a lot of these legendaries are going to become even better.
I hate that Raikou gets Scald. I hate that.
I love it.
It doesn't even make sense. It's electric. It's an electric tiger. Why can it spit boiling water? It's like, how come Wooper can use Ice Punch? Oh, I don't know. He doesn't have any fists. Oh, man. Sometimes I hate Game Freak. And it's because they make Pokemon like Aromatisse and Gligar that can just do this. But I'd rather see defense.
That was less Aromatisse and Gligar doing this and more Pokefan and me just not building for this team.
Yeah. And you know what, too? Is that, like, I can't even say that you, like, didn't play well. Because it was 80 turns and you were working with what you had, trying to get around it. You know what I mean?
I was trying to get the head of the switch, and he just knew when I was going to double back.
Yep. And, you know, in hindsight, it's 2022. You think, oh, I could have brought Weavile, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. Like,
yep.
But
I mean, I also knew that he was going to beat me this week, as I said last week, so.
Oh, right. I bet my money on you. I forgot. Actually,
yeah,
I didn't even update the spreadsheet, so I'm gonna have to do that at some point. But yeah, so I guess that is a +5 from PokeFan. Crazy things. A long game, not the longest game in PFL history, but
a long one.
But a definite long one, and I don't want to look at Aromatisse anymore. So let's move to the next battle.
Thank God. Which is another equally as upsetting battle to me.
Is it? Because it is... Oh, I see. It is Mario versus Mitch.
If anybody was going to give Mitch a win, I knew it was going to be Mario.
And I do remember. I remember this. Okay. I'll hit the play button. Thank goodness. I don't like seeing anybody go winless. I know you do. I'm just glad that Mitch
I only want Mitch to lose.
I just want Blastoise to run special moves. And that's all I asked for like 3 weeks straight. And we finally got it.
I'm upset watching this. I'm going through the same thing I went through during the broadcast where I was like, this is just upsetting to watch.
You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a good play.
Mitch doesn't normally make good plays.
I'm sort of surprised Ice Beam killed, and I'm also surprised that Mario went for Sludge Bomb. I guess this is his only answer for Blastoise, even though Goodra's right there. And I don't know why you'd save Volcanion. You should have just let Volcanion go, had Goodra come in, hit Draco or Thunderbolt, and then you would have had both your Pokemon, or at least one of them, at a fuller amount of health.
Because you're gonna your goal is to get rid of Blastoise, so it's not like you can bait the water move to water absorb your health up. You're right.
And he's not hitting a water move anyway. He had Shell Smash, Ice Beam, Aura Sphere. He might have had something else, but he's not hitting it against Volcanion anyway.
Oh, I know why I saved Volcanion. He needed it for Celesteela.
I see. But the Leech Seed does take out Volcanion. Good riddance. And Alolan Ninetales, Sandslash, the Alolan duo.
I mean, even looking at Mario's setup before this match started, we were talking about on the broadcast how most of Mario's team would not appreciate a Flare Blitz from Darmanitan. Regirock, yeah, but he gets superpower. Goodra, probably not going to eat 2 or 3 of them. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happily eat one.
Yeah, I cannot believe that a +2 Focus Blast from Regice, even behind Auroraville, I get it. Auroraville
did not kill Regirock?
Didn't kill him. I'm still surprised.
I agree.
And I love Regice. I'm a big fan of Regice, but that's just oof. That mon is not very good.
I feel like... and I say this a lot, and I'm normally wrong, but Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Ninetales are very underwhelming as a combo.
I mean, I think that has to just sort of do with running 2 ice types at once.
Yeah.
You're running a physical ice type and a special ice type.
And they both have a 4x weakness, and Ninetales being 4x to steel, and Sandslash is to fighting and fire. Yeah,
super common.
It's just... I mean, you get the Aura Veil up, and at least that'll help.
Yeah. So my first thought when he went into Regice, I thought, oh my god, he's going to use Aurora Veil himself. Because Regice gets Aurora Veil, but it doesn't get... obviously it doesn't get, Snow Warning. But, you could totally use that to your advantage. The fact that, Hail's up. I've thought about doing it.
Yeah, I think we see that in... one of the games, it was the Grassy Seed play. Somebody Grassy Seeded on the opposite team.
Yeah. Oh, that was oh man. I mean, Thomas has Rillaboom. I don't remember who. Was it Kyle? I think it might have been Kyle.
Might have been, or it might have been Manus. That sounds like a Manus thing to do.
That does sound like a Manny thing to do. But yeah, no, I agree. Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Ninetales on the same team. Just sort of I get what you're going for, but one of them's just an offensive ice type, and one of them's just much better. A
Ninetales is good.
Yeah,
it's fast, gets the Aura Veil access, but just
freeze dry, and blast.
Paired with Sandslash, it's just meh.
Yeah, neither of them take each other's hits, so you never really have a good opportunity to switch directly into Alolan Sandslash.
Yeah. It's hard to get him in.
Yeah.
And then you have to pretty much get the Swords Dance. His attack isn't enough to, I don't think, get him there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the best judge of Mons a lot, because I'll say that a lot of great Mons are shit.
I gotta wonder why Mario chose to bring Tangrowth. I mean, maybe it sort of walls Zygarde a little bit, but Celesteela, Rotom, even Blastoise, Regice, Darmanitan, they all just sort of blow through Tangrowth in a lot of different ways.
I think Mario also knew, and not this is helping, is why did I bring Tangrowth?
Yeah.
He didn't have an answer for Darm.
No, Reggie Rock was his answer for Darm, but like, you know, you can't have a one singular rock type be the answer for 3 Pokemon, you know?
Especially because I'm fairly sure Darm gets EQ, and
Yep.
Volcanion don't want none of that shit.
No, absolutely not. But Mitch going to 1 and 5? 1 and 5. And yeah, fine. Not winless anymore. So decent +3. Mario gets knocked down a peg in his division. And yeah, 23 turns, not 80 turns. So that actually felt a lot faster.
My match was so long.
Yeah. Let's bring it in. So in the next battle, we got Bick versus Jack, and here to tell us about it. He was here week 2, but you guys didn't know it. It is himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Large Kahuna.
Jack. What's up, boys?
Yup. So, Jack, I'm gonna hit play on the battle, and then you're just gonna tell me about it. Tell me about your experiences, your thoughts, your team, and maybe some sets. You know, whatever.
First and foremost, I'm gonna tell you that I was afraid of Bick.
Totally makes
He's
sense.
got a good brain and a gooder team. Facts. I scrimmed with Drac for this, and Drac predicted his team almost perfectly. And Drac also gave me the Kyurem set, which is like some crazy EVs and Choppleberry.
That sounds like a Drac set.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Creeping for everything.
I'm telling you, Muck is the best mod in the format. He still puts in work even though he's burned.
Dude, burned Muck put in so much work.
Insane.
Honestly, he doesn't even need to do anything besides Poison Touch and knock off things. Like,
100%.
so,
Just be there.
so it just
Just be
works.
there.
Yeah,
Here's
this,
a 50-50.
Yeah, this is a weird mind game.
Yeah. So I figured if he stays in, I get a free DD. If he doesn't, I get rocks. Not having rocks wasn't a huge deal. Q eats this like a champ. DD, very nice. Here, I could have DD'd a second time, but I didn't want to because it put me in bend as a rock range.
Yeah, and Andy could have crit you as well, which would have
100%.
really
Oh,
stunk.
no.
Choppleberry.
This
This
also
is horseshit. I was
That
so
sucks.
upset.
That sucked.
And, Mienshao outspeeds you even at +1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why it's a Choppleberry. Because
Oh.
so with the speed spread I had, I outspeed anything at +1 except like Scarfers.
Mhm.
And the Choppleberry was so I could take a CC and retaliate back. I was so afraid of this Pyroar. I've been running max attack on Muck every week, but I have special attack because
20.
Spec Pyroar ate my ass last time we played.
20% on the overheat. Are you
This
kidding
mod is
me?
so good, bro!
And you get the
Poison-
poison touch, which actually
it-
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it hooked it up. Honestly, the difference is I would have had to take one more hit here instead of shadow sneaking. I would have had to knock again.
Mm-hmm. You know, anytime poison touch procs, it's never like, oh, I planned that. It's always like, all right, Muck, nice, like let's go.
It's like, would you look at that?
It's the quick draw effect. It's, you know, you don't notice it until it happens, and you're like, oh, that's lit.
100%. I was terrified when this guy lived, but you know,
There's
Crew
just
just
so
come
much
in.
pivot.
Yeah, I had my Volt turn on this week. It came so in handy. I figured that this might be what's his face?
Zoroark,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he stays in, which I thought was a little.
I thought it was weird too.
Strange.
Bravebird was a roll either way, but at this point the end game is just keep Magneton healthy and let Crobat tank the Mienshao.
Yep.
Here,
Yeah, 'cause-
honestly, in this endgame, I could have lost, potentially, if he doubled out to Mienshao and had something that he could 2-tap Crobat with.
The Blaze Kick missed, too. That's just insult to injury. I mean, you won the game anyway because you go out to Crobat and Brave Bird, but, like, that's just like a, ugh.
I honestly thought, so, like, this season, or just, like, I'm in 2 fantasy leagues right now, Jim knows. I've been an unlucky bastard. and I thought that the 2 Icicle Spear hits was gonna be my downfall because I forgot the Mon got Regenerator and he comes back in, he's getting HP and he's getting HP, and like that almost hurt me.
Yeah, he gets up to 87% from 11,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh.
I'm still amazed that Kyurem with his base 130 attack plus 1 Adamant Nature did not kill me and Chao -1.
I think that's the Bick effect. That's the Bick investing, 100 points into his defense EVs or something. Like, oh, maybe I'll live a Brave Bird from Crobat, and then, something weird like that. Or, oh, I'll live a Zen Headbutt from Mesprit.
But also, it's base 65 HP, base 60 defense. Like,
Yeah.
how, dude?
I know. It sometimes it's just it's the game we play, and sometimes it doesn't make any sense, even if all the stars align.
100%. I had outrage on that set too. I'm intrigued as to how different the battle would have gone if I hit outrage, but I just figured that Icicle Spear was a no drawback play.
He doesn't have any fairy type.
Why
but
didn't you hit outrage? What was stopping you?
I just figured Icicle Spear was fine, and then if best case scenario, if my Kyurem still if I kill with Icicle Spear, then I'm not locked into outrage for 2 to 3 turns. I could switch out on a Cell Rock if need be, and if my win con does become me clicking outrage, I just get to not be confused for an extra turn or 2. It felt optimal in the moment, but in my mind there was zero chance that he lived.
And hindsight is 20.
Oh,
no, on like a skill link move, you expect to get about 3 hits, I think, and getting
on average, definitely.
But as a great man once said, it'd be like that.
Yep, and you were able to clutch it out. It's just a +1, but that is a W in the books. That is padding the record.
Yeah, but I screwed somebody by letting Pokefan win so big.
I can't blame you, dude. The fact that you had the patience to be in that battle that long is just.
Oh, I will drag any match into the mud and fish for a free third, bro. No fear.
And you know what? It was working too.
It was.
The critical hits. If the freeze procced on Gligar, I would have lost my mind.
I would have.
But it's okay. Well, yeah. So that was the battle. I thought that, you prepped pretty well. The 50-50 with Don Fan was a little weird. Amok always putting in work. I don't remember seeing Mesprit.
Honestly, in the moment, I thought the 50-50 was just like a 0 loss play on my part, but could have been worse.
It definitely could have been worse. So then that finishes the battle segment of this interview here. Jack, tell me about going forward in the season and any trades and pickups or anything that you've done or will do that.
So first and foremost, you want to know who's a cool mon? Volcarona. You want to know who sucks ass in fantasy? Volcarona. How am I gonna bring this 4 times a week to rock looking ass? And heavy duty booties are in, and it's nice. And there's a chance, but thank God that bitch is off of my team.
Yeah.
Kyurem
Black.
Oh, dude, I feel that. But on the bright side, Kyurem taking a spot is he fulfills a similar niche, but he's also a fat bitch. Bars.
Yeah, you can run him a lot of different ways. Volcarona, you gotta run either Life Orb or booties. That's basically all you can do. Maybe a Charty Berry, maybe if you're feeling frisky.
I considered doing something with my Mega Scizor, but I think we're gonna keep it. I'm very satisfied with my team right now. The only mon I haven't brought yet is the Avani.
Yeah, but you also got her a week ago.
Just picked her up.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with my lower end. I've been bringing everyone. Metacham has been showing up. Magneton's occasional. Jelson, we've seen what he does.
Yeah.
Donphan is a great lead. Superior's been underperforming a little bit, and that's fine. But it's just because I'm not great with it.
Yeah.
So
haven't seen too much of Superior, but again, it's all matchup dependent too.
Oh, 100%. And I've brought Muck and Mesprit every week, and I'm just loving it. This is a very fun team. I don't like it as much as my team from last season, but I'm very much enjoying what I got going on.
Yep.
I got some heat cooking up for Thomas next week.
Thomas,
Fingers
I was
crossed.
just gonna ask you who you're facing next week, and it is Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy!
I
Oh
got-
yeah, that Rillaboom, that grassy
Don't
surge.
remind me. Do not remind me. But I think I got some good answers. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you got a Crobat.
No,
Spoilers.
no, I don't.
Spoilers. But yeah. So Jack, what does that bring your record to? Are you 4-2?
I am 4-2, and I am plus 10, I believe.
Okay, and that is on the upper end of the 4-2s, I believe.
Oh, I'm plus 12. That's
Ooh,
gangster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not 5-1. You know, I would like it to be, but I'm happy. I'm leading my division. The way I see it realistically is, I think there's a good chance that Bick or I, one of us wins the division. Fingers crossed for me, and the other one gets a wild card slot.
Yep.
So I think that this battle was huge to figure out which.
Who's who?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be interested if you two end up battling first round of playoffs.
I hope not. You saw what happened
That's
last
the-
season.
yeah.
I was up 2-0 on Kyle in the regular season, and he just spanked me in playoffs. It was not pretty.
Fighting people the third time, that's the match. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like that's
super
2 out of
hard.
3. That's the yeah. No, that's no fun too, because it's 2 out of 3, and it's like, you know, so you not only you have to get over the person or twice during the regular season, but you also have to, you know, 2-0 them or 2-1 them, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to face this person
round
again.
one is sudden death.
Not anymore, I don't think.
Did we make all of the rounds
Yeah.
2 out of 3?
Last season, I
Oh,
believe.
you're right, we did, because I remember I was only slightly tilted that I would have finally won this damn league if we didn't make the playoff worlds, because I won all my first games.
Very valid. Very valid.
Yes, yeah, you did. I just remember having to face Lebo like for
For the
3
8th
long
time.
games straight. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I hate looking at Charizard Y. But
Make it sad.
Jack, anything you want to say to the lovely people of PFL land, including but not limited to, you know, probably just Joe and Jarek.
Keep it up, boys. I love what we're doing here. This is the highlight of my week most weeks.
Let's go.
I enjoy being
Love
here.
it.
That's cool. I like that. I
It's all
appreciate it a
started
lot.
off by Manus talking to us outside. Hey, I want to just start a draft format. We were still in school.
And the rest is history. Also, run Rock Slide over Stone Edge. Stone Edge is a myth.
Oh,
It doesn't exist.
always run Rock Slide. Do not run Stone Edge. That move sucks. Oh,
You
You also-
never run the lower accuracy moves. Nobody listens to me.
I never
It-
do.
it-
I
you gotta
literally
run
never
Rock
run
Slide.
Stone Edge anymore. It's always Rock Slide. Always,
Bro,
always.
I
always.
won't even run Fire Blast. I won't
Yeah,
see
that's
it
just
unless,
flamethrower.
unless it's my Z Captain. If it's my Z Captain, I will run Fire Blast. Otherwise, not happening.
It's a flamethrower and a half. All right, Jack, it was good talking to you. We're gonna
Thanks
get
for
to
having me
these
on, boys.
other battles.
Yeah, dude.
Which, speaking of other battles, the next battle is
Murphy versus Dan. Oh, poor Dan. I'll save it. but-
yes. Oh, I gotta turn the music off. Dan
Oh, really?
versus Murphy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Poor Dan.
Yeah.
Just, and you know what? I'm actually realizing something here. This matchup right here is one of the great reasons that I love Miltank, because during the stream we were like, oh, probably a Scrappy to hit Dracovish. This bitch can have Scrappy, or it can have Thick Fat, and either way, it's getting in the way.
Yeah, it definitely had thick fat because I'm pretty sure it tanked something crazy. We'll get in there. I like Galaxy Brain, of course. The Frisk off the get go is actually a
So
pretty
good.
big deal.
Turn 1 Paralyze. Such a Dan this season.
Yeah, that's if that's not telling of how Dan's season has been. I don't know why you necessarily set up with a Calm Mind there, because there are a lot of things that just sort of come in
And
and Oko.
sorry to cut you off, but he went Super Saiyan.
Oh.
At the end of the game.
Oh my! Oh, and the burn! Oh, I totally forgot.
Yeah, this was just
Oh
so
my
much
God.
bad.
If you don't get burned, you just Icicle Crash and Ice Shard, and you're fine. And then this takes 2 Volt Switches, I think.
Oh yeah.
He literally takes 2 of them. Because of the
Whoa.
AV, Air Slash kills. Rotom
Just-
comes back in. Oh, poor Dan. Oh, and it
He
lives.
lives.
Yeah.
and something else doesn't die. Okay.
It just barely hangs on, and it's able
And
to
then he's
outspeed.
faster. I bet he's scarfed.
Now he's Black Sludge.
Oh shit! I'm surprised he was so fast.
That Togekiss was definitely like max Spadef or something.
Yeah, it was probably his normal bulky build.
Yeah, but right off the bat, Dan's down 2 3/4 of a Pokemon just because Togekiss decided, hey, I'm gonna blow everything up.
And you know what? It's like we're kind of downplaying Murphy because we just feel bad that Dan's been getting just fucked all season. But like, Dan's just been getting fucked all season.
Yeah. Honestly though, like, he sort of starts to bring it back. You don't want to give a Choice Scarf to a Milk Tank, but at least that prevents him from milk drinking.
Who did that to me last season? Somebody made that mistake.
I don't know. It might have been me. Honestly, it might have been
Somebody made that mistake.
DD, Dragapult. Ooh, 72 to Suicune. Ooh, not quite.
He doesn't die though, and then he disables the Ice Beam, which is very nice.
It's pretty cool. Oh, if he DD'd on the Protect, I would have lost my mind.
He couldn't. He was locked in Outrage.
Oh, you're right. Which is another, Jack was saying, I don't want to be locked into Outrage in case maybe something like that happens.
Yeah.
Which
you know what? It's kind of crazy because I was saying on the broadcast that I don't generally think that Dragapult does things, but Dragapult just did some things.
Yeah, it killed 3 Mons off the bat, and the only reason that it stopped is because of Life Orb.
It killed itself.
Yeah.
I mean, if Murphy had Shadow Sneak here, it would have been huge, big brain, and stopped it anyway.
Yep.
What a good Z parting shot.
Yeah, bring Salazzle all the way back up, but the thing is that because it's a defensive Salazzle, the Zen Headbutt misses too. It is close. Although putting him on a timer...
Toxic. That's what it was. Why? What was this Salazzle build?
I think that it's still not... Even the crit only did 68. So if he went for like a Sludge Wave or another Fire Blast, it would have only done like 40 or something like that.
Yeah, but it would have been a 2-tap, and he was behind the sub.
Yeah, but the sub would have been broken, assuming that Zen
Yeah, but then he would have killed on the second hit if Fire Blast would have hit. I don't know. He would have lost to Nidoking in the end because it was scarfed.
Yeah.
But like, this has just been yet another iteration of Dan getting fucked.
Yeah, that's really bad. Specifically, let alone the Ancient Power boost. Like, I'll let it slide. We've seen it fished for this season. But specifically, the Flamethrower burning the Mamoswine. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's
Insult
10%.
to injury.
And that's its only counter that you have.
Yeah, it's insult to injury, yeah.
Which, that's the game kicking you while you're down. It's like, you're 0-5, like, here's a 10% Ancient Power boost, and then a 10%.
Is this how you guys feel about Mitch? Like, when I'm like, yes, Mitch gets fucked again, and you guys are like, oh, this poor guy. Is this how you guys feel? Like, is this...
I think so. Not to that extent, because that was literally 1 in 100.
Yeah.
So, that's... I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, obviously, they both played fine. Murphy just had, like, the ace in the hole. he just had something, the stars aligned, or, the planets.
Dan recovered from that as well as he could have.
Mm-hmm. And, if he didn't have Life Orb, I'm sure that a +1... Oh, yeah, no, definitely a +1 Dragapult outspeeds a Scarf Nidoking, because it's just +1.
It's just... It is what it is.
It is what it is. Dan moves down to 0-6. An undeserved 0-6 for his prowess and his, the way he's been battling.
Every one of his losses, like, have just been so close. He's tried. No good.
Yeah, we'll see who he faces when we get to the schedule. But I'm hoping that he's able to clutch out a W. Even if he's out of the season, if he can't theoretically win anymore, I still want to see him not go winless. Cause
that's what I'm saying, man. I don't want to see him have to sit out a season. Like, Mitch, get him out of here for a season. But Dan, no.
Is that how that works? If you go winless?
That's how Joe makes it a little more fair, I feel. If you go winless, he asks you to sit out for 1 season. So
that makes sense. There's a lot of players in the queue for PFL, honestly.
Like, you notice that M1 isn't here this season because he unfortunately went winless last season.
Really? I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew he wasn't here this season. I didn't know that's why.
He sat out. That's why Rob wasn't here last season, because Joe asked him to sit out.
To train in the mountains, and now Rob's 3-3, so M1's gonna come back and win the whole thing.
Yep.
Cool. But so a +1 from Murphy. Togekiss putting in all of the work, and that's basically it. King Murph the second. Wonderful. Into the next one, we got Dylan, no pancakes versus Draculantern. Oh,
first of all,
my goodness,
I love pancakes. How come no pancakes?
No pancakes.
Dude, I want pancakes.
No pancakes. You ask Dylan. Ask Dylan why he says no pancakes, because actually, I definitely know why it's no pancakes.
Dylan, why no pancakes?
I literally don't even remember though. He's told me before, like a few times, but I'm a bad friend. So anyway, so yeah, we got Dylan versus Drac. This is my division. This means a lot to me as a battle, and both of these players are very good. But I'm pretty sure Drac just gets, from the get-go, just gets the momentum and never lets go.
Which is what he tends to do.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, as you know from last week.
As I know from this dumb tiger-looking thing.
Turn one double intimidate.
Scorching Sands is an interesting play because you can't burn Incineroar.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought it would do more. You know, that's
I might have thought like Steelix. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible too. Although Steelix doesn't want to come in on a fire Arcanine.
Yes, it does.
Arcanine.
Man has taught me that lesson.
You Flare Blitz that thing. That's 70%.
You'll kill yourself before you kill him.
What? Either way, Galv gets rid of Dylan's screens, his hazard removal, and chips Arcanine down to the point where
Galv is so good. And gets the webs up there.
And webs, and Intim, and fake outs, and Arcanine's now dead. Drac has all of the balls entirely in Drac's court.
Yeah, there's just nothing stopping this man right now.
Yep. Like from turn 7, all the momentum. 26. 26 on the Sylveon.
It's a fast speed drill. I remember this.
Yep. Kebia Berry. I told you.
So many berries this
week. It's a Drac
week.
set, bro. Yeah, because that's not going to take another poison jab. U-turn, really good stuff, actually. Getting that momentum back a little bit.
Yeah. Trying to recover.
It's a good read, because you know he's going to go into Steelix, and the Scald, a little surprised it didn't kill. Not that surprised, but a little surprised.
Steelix is large.
Yeah. And then, at that point, I don't know why you'd necessarily save Quag. But getting rid of the Sylveon's a big deal because that's his wish passer. You don't want him to give wishes to Incineroar or anything like that. EQ, I don't know. This might be a banded Dragonite. It's not. Nope.
No. Nope. That answered quick.
Because you would just go for E-speed at that point.
The yawn failing because he's behind the sub, and now we start going fast.
Yep. And Alakazam has the sash, got the magic guard, keep it intact. And that's it. There's nothing that Dylan can do at this point. Quaggy comes in.
I think Drac actually, if I recall, looks for a way to get Inteleon back in here.
He does. He's like, yo, I want Inteleon to get the kills.
It's right now. He gets Inteleon back in, and then more King of the Kill.
Bro.
No, it isn't now.
I honestly don't even know what the heck's happening. I literally thought that he sacked Dragonite just to get Inteleon 2 kills.
I thought that's what he was doing there, but then he didn't.
That's low-key fire. Oh, and then Inteleon comes in anyway. Because Incineroar dies.
Crit Ice Beam.
Doesn't
From
matter.
Sniper.
Probably.
I don't think so.
And then, so that's 2 more.
Gone.
But it's only a +1.
Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, what we said from the beginning is that, Drac, he started getting momentum. He killed Xatu. He put a timer on Arcanine, really, really well. And then made a couple decent plays around Beedrill and Quagsire just to sort of neutralize them. And that's all you got to do. He got the webs up. He got the rocks up.
If it's a team that Drac takes to the playoffs and the championships, I wouldn't be surprised.
Something that Jack and I were talking about, actually. Dylan's only 2 forms of hazard removal are Xatu with Defog and Girder with defog. That's it. So
I mean, I've definitely gone seasons without a reliable hazard clear. It's not smart, but manageable.
we've seen Dylan. Dylan's now 2-4, and we've seen Dylan do very well, but he always has trouble with hazards. Like that's just been a consistent theme. He's always gotten webs up on him, or rocks, or even spikes. I think he got.
And
one
when
time.
Mega Beedrill is a thing on your team, hazards cannot be a thing stopping you.
Yeah, so who knows? We might see some adjustments. This is the last week to make trades and pickups, but I don't know. Either way, it's a +1 from Drac. Moving up in the world, 4-2 now again, and yeah, he's in a wild card spot right now.
What a play!
Yep. And in the next one,
Ooh.
oh
This
wait,
is you this time.
I forgot that I battled. This is me this time. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So oh man, how do I even? All right, I guess let's just play it. Let's see. Prepping for Hunter, I was scared of Z Rain Dance Circuitry
Yep.
because we saw it just destroy everything. And I was also scared of Toxapex. And getting rid of the Black Sludge right there was like a pretty big deal. And Amoongus eats the Toxic. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yep. Safety
did.
goggles, swords dance, stomping tantrum. What
dude,
the fuck?
I want you to know that I screamed when that happened.
That was amazing.
I literally, like, for like 5 seconds there, I felt like the jock in like a Spider-Man movie that like comes up to him and like shoves him against a locker, you know, like the throwaway villain. I was like, yeah, like
he
that's...
had the safety goggles for that reason, and then you were just like, meh.
The worst part is that the stomping tantrum, I want to say it was for Combuskin. It was for Toxapex. It was to beat Toxapex in a 1v1.
And it just worked out in your favor.
And as soon as the safety goggles procced, I was like, oh man, this is actually gonna work. Like I can live a Flare Blitz. And then yeah, so that was just very cool.
I love this PZ under an agility too.
Yeah, and PZ put in work last time against Hunter. It was the only time that I brought PZ, I think. And I go for a tri-attack there because I expect him to go into maybe Lando, maybe something to take a Thunderbolt. But yeah, so, and it's funny because I don't have any sort of, I have HP investment in Scizor, but Scizor kind of ends up being my go-to, like, oh, I'm going to switch him in on all of his priority and all of his nonsense. I switch him into a Shy Shock, I switch him into a First Impression, and this is Scarf Ments too. And that's specifically to outspeed Scarf Lando, or a +1 Circuitry, or a Scarf Hoopa.
And it's dead.
And it just sort of, yeah, and it just does the thing. It gets Moxie. I really wanted the confusion not to happen that turn, because I didn't trust him to not...
Kill Zerk.
Yeah, I didn't trust him to break through and kill, and I knew that he was sort of a win con against Hoopa. So I keep him alive. I have the EQ. I'm surprised Circuitry lives.
I'm surprised you live.
I'm
not surprised Zerk lives. I'm
+1?
surprised
Yeah.
you lived.
I do have him sped crept to the point where he outspeeds a +1 Lando. So he does have like HP investment, which is the only reason I think he lives. And then Bullet Punch just
be the only reason you live.
cleans it up. Yeah, I don't know how much HP investment he has, but it's just whatever is left over after outspeeding a +1 Lando.
That was a very solid win.
Yeah, I mean it was a +3, but from the moment that Amoongus clicked Stomping Tantrum, I felt my balls drop, and then I was like, all right, we got this.
Yeah, from that point on, you just held Hunter's head under the water.
I mean, and you know, Wigglytuff would have done so much more too if it wasn't Psyshock. If it was Psychic, it was specially defensive, and I don't know. It was solid though. It was solid play from Hunter. I think that I just sort of had a couple answers,
The safety goggles play was amazing. Like if you weren't trying to beat Toxapex, like. You might have lived the Flare Blitz, but like, what do you do back? Do you live the second one? Probably not.
He would definitely eat at least a Sludge Bomb, if not 2.
Oh, Combuskin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, I don't think that you eat 2 Flare Blitzes or whatever his fire move is, and then he just starts going.
I may
I mean, you
believe
probably
I'm
could have sent
specially.
in that horse.
Actually, what the hell am I? I believe I'm specially defensive as an
Mm.
Amoongus, actually. So
Ooh.
I definitely wouldn't eat Flare Blitz.
There you go. So like, if you weren't trying to get over Toxapex, I mean, again, you just send in Mudsdale, and I'm fairly sure he eats a Flare Blitz and claps back with EQ, and then it dies. But
Yeah. Mudsdale hasn't been doing too much for me, but we'll get there.
Mudsdale doesn't do too much.
I really think Mudsdale's very good for a 40. I think he's a 60 IMO, but I don't really pilot the suggestion box all that much. But I think he's a 60, so write that down, Lebo. Bring that to the suggestion box, please.
Mudsdale at 60.
Yep. So that is a +3. Pretty decent. Keeps me at the top of the division because Drac also got a win, and otherwise I think Drac we would have been tied for record. Yeah, that was pretty it. That's Stomping Tantrum. That felt like a heat of the week, but I can't award myself.
Oh no,
heat of the
it
week.
was. If I had to pick, that play was heat of the week. I think I called it when it happened.
Okay. I was like, I can't give myself that, but I did feel like I felt like 6'5", like honestly.
Oh, yeah, that was heat of the week. I'm fairly sure I called it during the
Cool.
broadcast.
Alrighty, into the next one, where we have James versus Dave.
This was a good match. I made the joke that I smell collusion, and I think I offended both of them. They were like, "No, man, like we're serious." Like you can see it in the chat over there.
Yeah, I was totally like confused at what was happening. I just looked at because I entered the chat. I looked at it. I was like, "What is all this?"
No, I was just joking around. This was just so much James in this match. It was crazy.
Yeah, and this is one of the times where it actually sort of worked. I mean, James
agility.
It didn't work a lot in the beginning of the season, but I mean, agility, guts, Luxray is.
And then Wandering Spirit shut it down.
Yeah, and then that stinks.
And it's gone.
Yep. But Diggersby, even at +2, still 36%, pretty decent. Losing him actually kind of stinks because then you don't have a lot of priority against Mega Pinsir or even Greninja. Like a quick attack does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
Screens Bulu.
Screens Bulu. I love how he keeps bringing that.
It like sort of works. It's like Tapu Bulu is just like really, really good Meganium. Almost. And it's totally different, but like he runs Tapu Bulu like people run Meganium.
Yeah. And it's working.
It works. It is Mega Lopunny, immune to the Toxic.
Toxic on Lopunny though. Like what is this kid?
That was the same thing as Toxic on Zero Aura that we saw against in your battle.
Yeah.
Which I guess, it sort of makes a little bit of sense. Something comes in who you think walls you read it, hit Toxic, and then you sort of profit from it over the course of the game.
Yeah. Dude, this Weezing put in a lot of work in this match, just taking the hits, surviving. I mean, it missed the strange stream, so that kind of sucked. But...
And as soon as it's gone, though, we see... Now, what happens here? Because Virizion he's running Stone Edge. So even though the quick attack pops... Actually, he doesn't even get the quick attack to
We were
pop.
talking about this. We're like, if this Stone Edge does not hit, James might be fucked.
Yeah, because then you just quick attack 5 times, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 4? I don't know what Cinderace
I mean, if Cinderace lives the quick attack, it kills you with that Pyro Ball.
Cinderace is at 100, so I think it probably would live a quick attack.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get it down to at least the Cinderace.
Oof. Now, James just loves being behind subs.
I don't blame him. It's a cool
Yeah.
spot to be. Libero, Dark type, Sucker Punch.
Dude, Wandering Spirit just fucks him so hard because now he's stuck Dark.
Yeah. It still breaks the sub. Now you got Protean versus Libero.
And Sucker Punch just finishes Greninja.
Yep. Which, that's so interesting to me that's how that works. Like, you stay a Dark type after your ability is nullified.
You stay whatever the last type is. That makes sense. Because his type changed.
Yeah, no, I sort of agree. Tangela has Sludge Bomb, which I think is also interesting. I think probably specifically for Bulu and honestly Virizion too, because otherwise Virizion just SDs.
It's just doing the thing right now.
Yeah, and there's not much that Dave can do at this point. Like James has a couple really strong things in the back. It doesn't even matter that he lets Virizion go down because you just come in and Pyro Ball.
Yeah.
And that is it. And he asks in the chat, he goes, is 90% 9 out of 10?
No,
and
we were talking about... we were talking about... Oh, you're right, he was asking that, because we were talking about it at the same time me and Joe were talking about if it can miss or not.
Yeah. and it did. And if that T-Bolt killed, depending on how the Magnezone was spec'd, it might have been able to live an HJK. It might have been able to.
I doubt it. It was probably really offensive.
Do you think it was analytic? Oh, no, we see.
What ability? Magnet Pull for Empoleon.
I see. Either way, James gets a +2, which is pretty solid. That was a hard-fought battle on both ends.
It really was.
Really good plays, really good sets. Nothing
James actually helped me out here. He helped me keep the lead in the division.
Yeah.
Which I really thought I was going to lose this week.
I don't remember exactly who we...
He kept the dream alive.
Yeah.
Well, Dave is in my division, so he beat Dave and kept him below me.
Yeah. But I mean, good stuff to both players. You know, the bunnymen take it. All 3 bunnies.
All of them.
Yeah, and into the final battle of the night,
which is a very weird battle. It's not a lot happens. I mean, it starts as it shapes up to be a good battle, and then Manus times out.
Bad things. Oh boy, let's play it, and then let's talk about it.
I mean, what we see just starts off as a great Manus versus Kyle match.
Yep.
Like, he goes into Lone Marowak, probably has Lightning Rod to eat the Rising Voltage. Retaliates with Shadow Bone. Like, Manus is just going off here.
And it still kills the Ferrothorn. I mean, obviously, that's Thick Club boosted and whatever. Which is just crazy.
And, like, is this Guts? Did he bring Guts? This is the same exact thing that we watched happen with Gengar versus Conkeldurr the first time.
This probably is Guts. Although now at this point, because he's poisoned, he can just keep clicking sub.
No, we watched this happen the first match. If you watch the first match of Manus versus Kyle, and we get to Conkeldurr versus Gengar, or it might even be because Manus used to have. No, he didn't. Never mind. I think he was just knocking off to make sure that Gengar couldn't be behind the sub.
Yeah. Just sort of keep him in check, so Boltund can come in and revenge kill. Because Boltund's base 120, I believe, speed.
Yeah.
And Gengar's only 110.
No, this thing's gone.
Oof, dude,
Alolan
Marowak is literally
so much momentum.
Alolan Marowak is just finding his spot on the King of the Kill chart, and it's only the first week that he's been around, I think.
I mean, he only got 2 kills, but he put in work. Rising Voltage, man, it's calling the electric terrain, bringing Rising Voltage.
And that's pretty cool.
Clapping it hard into Raichu. That's a 2-tap.
60%.
And then he traces. It's not going to make P2 that faster, but he traces Surf Searcher.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And now he times out.
Yeah, and he times out because what is he? He's calcing how much maybe a tri-attack will do?
Scroll down. So he had go up a little bit. I think he had 90 seconds. It tells me how much time he had. 90 seconds. So for about a minute and a half, he was running calcs. I don't know on what. He probably didn't know what to switch into here to eat this.
He was trying to figure it out. Or the T-Bolt.
And even Kyle tried to save it, which he shouldn't have, because this is just how our rules go. But Manus was just, and this looks like it was such a good game, and then
it just sort of, and sometimes this has happened to me too. Like, I've spent too long in the calc, and then I'm like, hey, how come I only have 20 seconds left? Not even realizing how much time I literally spent just typing it all in.
Well, if you scroll down, he's like, I thought I had more time than I had.
Yeah. He's like, yep, another tab running a calc. and then just straight lose. Oh, man, and I hate to see that. I think everybody hates to see that.
Yeah, that's not how you want to win a game. That's not how you want to lose a game.
Yeah.
So even Kyle when he posted, it's like I beat Manus +4.
Yeah, question mark? Like, I guess so. I mean, I don't think anybody is happy about that.
Yeah.
It's just an unfortunate, because Manny's not happy because it took too much time and he lost. Kyle's not happy because he won in a pretty fashion. Everybody else in the league isn't happy because they didn't get to see a cool battle. And then everybody else is also not happy because now Kyle's +4, which is probably much larger than it would have been otherwise.
Yeah. It's just
a lot of bad things. Don't spend too much time in the team calc or in the damage calc, folks.
And it's funny because like we used to not do the timer. The only reason we started the timer is because people would Discord call each other and be like, well, what do I do here? What do I do here?
Yeah.
What do I do here? And it wasn't people calcing. It was just people were taking 5 minutes a turn in a Discord call with each other. Yeah. So we had to put a stop to that. And this is just an unfortunate casualty of that.
And I mean, I've always thought that the timer makes sense, especially considering if it's a challenge or anything like that, it's 300 seconds. Like I get that, like random battles and stuff, like that's 150, but 300 seconds is literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, the real scroll up a little bit more, because so if Manny only had 90 there, he was kind of taking his time this whole match.
Yeah, he definitely was. And you see Kyle at 150, 150. By turn 10, Manny has 120. He took a while
Manny
on turn
took a lot
8.
Here. He's just taking his time. He's running the calcs, and I mean that's probably how he got so far in this match, running numbers like this. But he took a little bit too much time, and sometimes you gotta make decisions without knowing exactly what's gonna happen, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, if you're gonna run calcs up, you gotta have the window like next to each other. Like you can't like switch off the tab, like pull it off. Like look.
He's not running a dual screen monitor. He's running.
Yeah. I mean, but even still, like have it next to it.
Yeah.
So you can see the red lettering come up, and it's unfortunate. And I hate to see a battle go that way, but
yeah, it's not fun.
But that is unfortunately how we cap out these battles for this week. A lot of crazy stuff. Finally, PFL back in full force. 10 whole battles, which is great.
3-hour live stream.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I know that some of y'all are streamers and you're like, yeah, that shit's nothing, but like, I got shit to do. That was a long time.
Yeah, and you definitely. But it is what it is. Everybody wanted a battle for broadcast, and it was it was really cool.
We're not telling you no. Screw it. Yeah. Come on.
So that brings us to trades and pickups. Now, let's just elephant in the room, Mike. You used 4 of them.
I did.
Tell me about the changes to your team.
So I've been looking to get rid of Zapdos. Probably a week before the bye week started, but I wanted to wait until the bye weeks ended to make any changes, just so that I can surprise my opponents and give them less time to prep against me. Yep. I knew that I had a week, and in waiting, I screwed myself because I lost both Rotom Wash and Rotom Heat.
That was last week,
that I
potentially?
really wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, that was last week. Both the Rotoms went.
And it's like I didn't message Joe about it, and I was still trying to figure out how to make it work. So it's not like I screwed myself in that sense, because I would have lost them anyway. I had a better record than the people trying to take them.
Yep.
So I couldn't have gotten them, but here we are. I dropped Zapdos, Vaporeon, and Registeel for Chansey, Rotom Cut, and Zavali. And I took my Z Captain from Doug Trio to Zavali for them better Z Mementos. Better
Z Memento is definitely a good way to put it. I think that Rotom Cut definitely helps your team a little bit more than Zapdos could. I think Zapdos, while very good, has a little bit of 4 move slot syndrome, as we saw in your battle. It's like, I want to run this coverage move, but I also want to run pivoting, but I also want to run recovery and hazard removal and be able to hit things and also paralyze them. And it's like, and HP Ice.
Yeah.
And it's a lot,
He's trying to do too much.
And, you weren't really using Vaporeon either.
Which is weird because I love Vaporeon. I couldn't. You're talking 4-move syndrome. I'm talking 6 Pokemon syndrome. Like, it was just, I was having a hard time finding a place for it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just the matchups that I had. Like, it just wasn't working. Like, Rob has Electivire and Vaporeon does not want to be there. I mean, Vaporeon's not taking too many moves from Gallade or even Nidoking. Like, it just wasn't doing things on my team. So I'm actually without a water type right now and turned it into Rotom.
Yeah, I think that what you did is a lot of roll compression. It's Vaporeon's your Wish Passer. You have Chansey, and Chansey's also serves as a special wall. So it's also Vaporeon. It's also sort of Registeel. And then Rotom Cut obviously doesn't have 4-move slot syndrome. You can run Volt Switch, Willow maybe, Screens, and Leaf Storm, and that's like about it.
I could run Defog on it.
Oh, and Defog.
I could run Nasty Plot.
Yeah. There's
I
some.
can throw an Assault Vest on
some tech.
there. I can run a Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. It's got some options. Its speed isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
And then
I guess
Savali I
Trick,
picked
too.
up just to kind of help with I don't have a couple types, so Savali is every type.
Yep. And if you're bringing a Doug Trio every week anyway, and you're not running it as your Z captain, then you're sort of wasting the Z slot.
Yeah.
Almost.
So, and I mean, if I made it for Z Memento, Z Parting Shot is infinitely better.
Yep. And Silvally automatically is a coverage monster. Anything. It's that's why it's so good in draft and so mediocre in actual OU or UU or whatever the hell it is. It's because you can say, oh, Silvally, this guy's team, he's weak to poison in 8 spots. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna run poison type Silvally, with Parting Shot, and it'll just work.
And it'll work.
Yeah.
But hopefully this helps me out a little bit. I still have 1 pickup, so I can still do some things and infinite trades. I was trying to get rid of Zapdos to a couple different people. I sent some messages. Nobody really bit.
Yeah.
Nobody's really been trading. I'm trying to trade with a couple people this season, but I get it. It's hard real late in the season when to trade with people because you're like, well, now I have to make 16 moves.
Yep, and I think it's okay because we saw by week 4, a few people didn't have any pickups at all. Right now, just looking at this screen, I can see Manny, Beck, and Rob all don't have pickups, and I'm pretty sure there's more than that.
Yeah, so everybody's been kind of changing some things around. So I still got 1. We'll see if I end up using it or not.
And in case you need a water type, you know what I mean, then you still have 20 points left. If you really wanted to, you could sub some of your lower end, because you mentioned that you don't bring them. You could sub Gourgeist for it. You haven't brought Ariados, I don't believe.
I brought it once against Rob.
One time. You could sub, that 40-point Mon for a pretty okay 60-point water type, if there are any.
And
if you really need one, but that's just that sort of extra buffer room in case you go into this next week, think, oh, I could have really used a water type here, and then make that switch then. But I think that these trades and pickups for you make a lot of sense. Zapdos didn't necessarily vibe with you. Vaporeon didn't vibe with the team, and as much as Registeel I thought that was hilarious, it is overall pretty underwhelming.
Oh no, it's just Chansey is better Registeel.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Registeel as 150 in both its defenses, but I have Chansey. I cannot bring Chansey and Registeel at the same time.
No, you absolutely can't. So, you might as well get rid of Registeel for something actually useful, and then you got Silvally, which is totally useful.
Wait a second, did Joe screw up?
What's
I don't think I have 20 points left over.
Let's do some quick math then.
I think Joe screwed up because if Registeel was 100 and upgrades to Savali, which is 120, right?
You have no points left.
Yeah, Joe messed up. I shouldn't have points left. That's what I thought.
I would edit it. So, Joe, if you happen to watch this video, Mike has 20
I'll
points.
send him a message by the end of this.
Yeah.
We'll have that fixed.
Okay, that makes sense then, because I was like, your team looks really good to still have 20 points left. But
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I didn't think I did either. You said that, and I was like, I I went over this a couple times. I shouldn't have any
All right,
points.
now that we did the math, you could pick up a pretty okay 40-point water type then. There's probably more.
I can switch some things out too. Like if I'm not liking, I can do things. There's still moves on the board.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And Drotagon's an 100, really?
Yes.
Wow.
It was 60.
Yeah.
I moved it up.
That makes sense, just like Miltank.
Yep.
Oh. Alrighty. I think all of those make sense. Let's move on to Manny, who is dropping Crustle for Thwacky.
Is Thwacky mini Rillaboom?
Yes.
Is this about to happen?
Yes.
Is this like?
I
is
don't
this the
know if
Tangrowth
it's.
concept?
Here's the thing though. And you're gonna have to look this up for me. I almost think that Thwacky is faster than Rillaboom.
Don't tell me that.
Because Rillaboom
Come
is
on.
base. Is it 60? It might be base 60 speed. It's either 60 or 80, and I can't remember which. I'm pretty sure.
Thwacky is 80.
Thwacky's 80. I'm pretty
Rillaboom
sure.
is 85.
Oh, Rillaboom's 85? Okay, maybe I'm just a moron. I had Rillaboom an entire season, and I just don't even...
Thwacky has some pretty decent stats.
Yeah.
It's got a 70 in HP, 85 in attack, 70 in defense, 55 special attack, 60 defense, and 80 speed.
A stab grassy glide from base 85 attack in grassy terrain is pretty good.
And like, if he were to run the Evolite, the Grassy Seed, like, he has so many options he could run on this boy.
Yeah, and that's the second not fully evolved Pokemon. Not the second only, but like Tangle is obviously not fully evolved, Magneton's not, but like, you know, Combuskin, Thwacky, like, you know, some crazy
this is
stuff.
Such a Manus strategy right now.
Thomas
Manus
has
definitely messaged Joe, and he was like, yo, Thwacky though.
Yeah,
and Joe was like, really? And Manus was like, Thwacky, bro.
Manus, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna use him. I'm gonna draft him. Yeah, and that's, you know, Combuskin, Raboot, and Thwacky are now all off the table. These middle starter evolutions are going like hotcakes. So if you want Marshtomp, you know, scoop them up. Trade in the pickups end.
Doesn't he get a speed control move, or does he not get that until he's Rillaboom?
Thwacky?
Yeah,
Drum beating? I don't think he gets yet.
He doesn't get it yet, okay.
I don't
If he
think
got that
so.
speed control move as Thwacky, I'd be upset.
Truly, I don't know though. He might. He very well.
He doesn't. I'm on Smogan looking at him now.
Okay,
He doesn't.
great.
He doesn't get it till he evolves.
But I think if you're not going to bring Crustle, and you have other rockers like a Mega Aggron or a Palisand, you know, you don't need Crustle anyway. You get Spikes and Shell Smash, I think, but like, I don't know. Thwacky, I'm excited to see what Manny does with him.
He needed a switch for EQs, minus some of the ones he has. He has a lot of Levitate, though.
And you know what that also does? That also gives Manny a way to play around terrain without, you know, running like a Grassy Seed or, you know, something crazy. That's just I'm facing terrain this week. Okay, here's how I'm going to counter it.
Yeah, I like it.
And since it's actually slower than Rillaboom, it'll come up second most of the time.
Which means that it stays alive.
Yep. Next up, we got Pokefan. And Pokefan is dropping Piloswine for Throw.
I don't like it.
Now, I wanted Piloswine this season. And Pokefan took it like round 7, I believe. And I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. I wanted it. And now I have Galarian Mr. Mime, so I don't want Piloswine anyway. But now that it's off the table, I'm like, so now I'm doing some thinking. I think that both of these Mons are okay. I think they both have their merits.
Yep. They're both. I mean, they're low tier Mons. They're niche.
Yeah. I do like Storm Throw, Circle Throw.
Yeah, he's the one who spins people around. I love that.
Yeah.
Bulk Up, Rest Talk, Circle Throw is comical.
Yeah.
It is so trollsy, and you know what? In this league, it would work because sometimes
AV Throw is fat too, dude. That's like 120 HP and like 90 special defense.
Yeah.
And you can run Guts. It's literally a mini Conkeldurr almost.
Yeah.
It doesn't get priority, but like it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
For a low tier fighting type, anyway.
I'm excited to see what he does with it.
I think Pokefan dropping Piloswine, you're like, oh, do I need a bulky ground type? You see what Gligar just did? Like, you don't need another bulky ground type. Like, you just don't.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does.
That is the only thing he did, and
Yep.
he also has one pickup left, so
He does.
he's got something in the books as well, or in the back pocket. And lastly, Mitch is changing his Zico captain to Regice. From
I don't know.
I forget. But
Maybe.
either way, I like fighting
Gardevoir?
EMZ from Gardevoir. Yeah, from Gardevoir, which is fine. Because like,
See what he does.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna hit like Shattered Psych. You're gonna hit Twinkle Tackle. Like I don't know.
Gardevoir has a lot of type coverage, which is why I like it as a Z captain, but at the same time, Assault Vest, Scarf, Specs.
Yeah,
Type
there's other items you want to run on Gardevoir. Regice, maybe you want Boots, maybe a weakness policy, but like a fight in EMZ
You're
is
a fucker. You run an Assault Vest.
I love that. I love AV Regice. You get
Love AV on big boys.
Ice Beam, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Counter. Don't sleep.
I don't know if counter would work.
It does. It does,
I
and
hate it.
it's awesome.
Thanks. I hate it.
So, Mitch, if you're listening, Counter Regice.
I don't think he's ever listened to
That's
these.
okay. I just said it for the people. If there's anybody out there who's going to run a Regice at any point in time, run Counter on it.
Oh,
And that does it for trades and pickups. Let's move on to King of the Kill.
Okay.
King of the Kill. Let's do it.
Which is just Inteleon pulling ahead. Oh, look, we now have a definitive top 5. Nobody's tied.
A lot of 5s, but yes, a definitive, basically. Now, Inteleon, obviously, top of the food chain, but right behind him is James's Cinderace.
Yeah.
Which has been doing crazy work. Zoroark still surprises me that it's this far up here at 9.
Yeah.
I feel like we never know who Zoroark is, but I think it's just because Bick's keeping track of it that he sort of knows, and that's why it's surprising.
Yeah, maybe he's lying to us. No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
Mawile, sure, that sort of makes sense as well. And then Ice Cube, we've seen Ice Cube do crazy things in the last, 2 games.
Crazy things.
And it's gotten, 6 kills, I think.
That stupid happy face.
Yeah. And I love that Pokemon. And then tied with Ice Cube, who not pictured, are Excadrill, Greninja, Zeraora, and Hoopa Unbound. So it interests me because...
Tristan has 2 Mons in top 5 now.
Yeah.
Both tied.
Tristan has 2 Mons in top 5. Pokefan has 2 Mons in top 5.
And that is it.
And yeah, that's it. But
Tristan's keeping his kills balanced.
Yep.
They're both...
Lots tied for 7. Only a few with 6. A lot of 5s. So many 4s. So many 3s. Even more 2s. And...
wow.
Crazy amount of 1s. But
Wow.
It's nice to see. You're right. It's nice to see a definitive hierarchy in King of the Kill.
Yeah.
There's not even in the top 5. Even if 5 is tied with everything, the
yeah,
top
I'm okay
4
with that.
are. It is cool to see it in the running.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's very cool stuff. Kudos to Dick as always. Let's move on to. There were some Conference Cup matches. Let's do some Conference Cup things.
Yeah. We haven't been over there in a minute.
Yeah, so there were, I believe, two matches probably.
4?
Oh, maybe it was 4. Scizor got 2 points and Pinsir got 7 points, which is crazy. 7 is a pretty big number.
Yeah, and 5 of them were because of me. So 2, you were right. 4 people battled.
Oh, wait, was it really only 2? Oh, yeah. Yep.
Pokefan smoked me. Plus
And then
5.
somebody
So that's 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else in my division lost. Bobby won. Murphy
Dave lost.
Dan. Dave lost. Yeah, Dave lost plus 1.
Yep. But we're getting toward the end. There's only week 8 and 9. Always huge for Conference Cups. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more. Shuckle's completely out of it. There's no shot for Shuckle. But
Yeah, wow, they've lost every single one.
but every other division is very close, and
Oh yeah.
you don't see that often. You know,
I wonder
a 9,
now,
12, a
are
9, and a
people
10.
out of it?
What's that?
Sometimes it works out where like, did we have our Super Conference Cup week?
That's next week, I believe.
Okay. 'Cause,
It's
like,
well, week 9 is, I believe, the Super Conference Cup, but like week 8's
Okay.
gonna have a majority of Conference Cup matches.
Okay, because then yeah, pretty much anybody except for Shuckle can take it over right now. And you know what? Don't fuckle with Shuckle. Shuckle might just smoke everybody +6 in that Super Week.
If everybody in the Struggle division gets a +6 in their match, they're at 24. So don't sleep.
Yeah. Don't fuckle with Shuckle, man.
Hell yeah. That brings us to the standings. Playoff picture? Standings? Same thing?
Yeah, we can do the. Let's just do the playoff picture because we'll do that and then go to standings.
Yeah, it'll lead into the standings. Okay, so we got PokeFan, myself, and Tristan, and Kyle all tied at 5-1.
Kyle's a wild card at 5-1.
Yes, he is. Because of how divisions work, which is sort of... but it's okay. He is down just +2, though, so he could take it over at any moment. He's breathing down Tristan's neck. He's saying, it's my turn to play Xbox. And Jack's at 4-2. Mike's you were at 4-2. Drax at 4-2.
Yep.
And it's pretty standard stuff. We've seen this pretty much the entire time. PokeFan did take over the 1 seed, and Tristan took over Kyle.
Yeah.
Even with that
That's
+4, it wasn't enough to get Kyle to the top of the Heracross division.
Right. Tristan's just that far ahead.
Yep. Jack with
'Cause he
that
beat
win
his
over
brother.
Bick. Even with that loss, you're still the division leader. So that's
I shouldn't be.
good
It
sign
does
for
not
you.
feel good. It does not feel good, buddy. I got to beat Kyle. Oof. This week I don't even know who I have. We'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. Dave's 3-3, so he's also sort of breathing down your neck.
Oh,
+9.
right there. And I still have to battle him. I think it's him. I think I battle him this week, actually.
Definitely.
I think that's who it is.
Let's talk standings. Let's talk how the divisions sort of stack up to each other then, because we're already sort of talking about it. So in your division, Dave's right there. Even Rob is like, if Rob gets a big win, and you lose,
if I lose out and Bobby wins out, my
Bob-
division is literally up for the taking.
he'll be the leader of a. Oh man, that's just crazy.
Bobby can make playoffs right now.
He still can. He can still be a wild card too. Like there's
Yeah.
wild cards at 3-3 right now. James is a wild card at 3-3
His
plus
dream
9.
is alive.
Your division's super contentious. Shuckle division, Jack did just solidify. He faced Bick for the second time, won it out. And then Bick, 3-3 plus 8. Jack's not sitting too comfortably, but he doesn't have to deal with it anymore. So as long as Jack just keeps winning, keep that distance. Jack was right when he said it was a pretty big battle.
Yeah.
Mitch is out of it.
I think Mario and Mitch are pretty much out of playoffs at this point.
Anybody who's like 2-4, it's not looking good either. 2-4 and below Mitch is guaranteed out. Dan's guaranteed out. Everybody who's 2-4 is pretty much out.
Yeah, it's just not looking good.
Because there's only weeks 8, 9, and 10, and then you'd have to be 5-4.
Yeah.
But it's mathematically it's possible. It's just very unlikely.
It's just not looking good is all.
The Heracross division are the two halves. You got the 5-1s and the 2-4s.
The two DeSilva brothers are just beating Manus and Thomas down.
Yeah, unfortunately for Manny and Thomas. But again, the top of the thing, just like even more so than Jack and Bick, it's only a differential of plus.
Yeah.
And only a differential of 2 as well, which is not a lot.
Even Mega's like that with Jim and Jack at the top, and then
Yep.
Hunter and Dylan tied at 2 and 4.
Yep, a little bit. I'm a little bit safer because I do have a win over Drac, but
Yeah.
it's still.
And you're also 6+ higher too.
But at any point, if Drac gets a win
Yeah.
and then I get a loss, then we're even in further contention.
Yeah,
Uh,
but like if there was a 2 and 4 to have a shot, it's Hunter and Manus because their plus is big enough where they'd win a tie.
Yeah. Mario at 2 and 4 plus 3 can't do it. Murphy
Yeah.
2 and 4 plus 4 can't do it.
Mhm.
Like it's not
Yeah.
gonna happen. You need that high plus.
Yeah.
And because in the pincer division we see Pokefan plus 18, which is
Brutal.
he padded that this week.
I gave it to him.
Well, you didn't give it to him. You
it
made
doesn't
him work
feel
for
good.
it. But
It doesn't feel good.
and then James and Lebo both at 3 and 3,
Yeah.
plus 9 and plus 6 respectively. And then Dan, my prayers go out to you, Dan, because
It was Lebo. I fucked Lebo out of being able to take it by letting Pokefan win, and then James didn't help either. That's what it was.
yeah, because then Lebo got pushed to the third
Yeah.
spot in the pincer division,
Yeah, that's
which
what
is
it was. I remember.
which is a little rough. So that does it for standings. Let's go over to the schedule, where it is week 8. Rosters lock after this week. This is it. This is game time. This is the red week.
Put your game faces on, boys.
Oh yeah, Mike. You're always the first one we talk about. It's always your name at the top. You're taking on Murphy.
Really almost is. Ooh, the rematch.
The rematch.
I'm picking myself.
Okay.
Picking myself. I feel good. I hope I learned. I'm interested. I'm picking myself. I got faith.
You did some pickups. I also think that I'm gonna pick you. I think that you probably got it as long as Togekiss doesn't get an ancient power. I think it'll be okay. Rob
about
versus
it.
Dave. Now this one. This one gives me anxiety.
This one is huge
Yeah, it
for
is.
both of them.
Yeah, it really is. They're both 3 and 3. Or no, Dave might be 2 and 4.
If I lose this game, I 100% no longer have the division.
Yeah. That is true. Because they're both 3 and 3. Oh gosh.
Crazy. This is a huge game. I'm picking Bobby. I'm picking Bobby.
Oh my god. I'm also gonna pick Bobby. Only because I have just so much faith in Galarian Slowbro.
Yeah.
Only because
It's
it is
really
literally
Galarian Slowbro.
it is the deity that came down and was like, "You better rethink your rules, PFL." And then everybody was like, "What do we do?" And it stayed. So Galarian Slowbro busted. Rob gonna win. Pokefan versus Dan. Holy crap! I hate looking at that.
Oh, because I know what's gonna happen. Pokefan.
God, I think Dan is so fed up though.
Still Pokefan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pokefan too. I want Dan to win so badly,
I do too,
but
but
I don't know
like,
if this is the week to do it.
Yeah.
Lebo versus James. I think that James's team has a really good matchup against Lebo.
I don't remember. Is Lebo's team the weather team?
Yeah, that's
Lots
the
of- oh, yeah.
Pelipper, Hippowdon, and James has like
Yeah.
the Cinderace, the Tapu Bulu, the Mega
Yeah,
Lopunny.
I think James has a really good matchup there. I'm gonna pick James.
Yep, I think that's totally fair. And then we get to the Conference Cup games. Mitch versus Manny.
Manny.
I'm gonna go with Manny too. Just because I think that he's not gonna spend as much time in the damage calculator.
Yep, can agree.
Jack versus Thomas. I know Jack said he had some heat cooking up, so I'm gonna give it to Jack.
I'm voting Jack.
Mario v Dylan. I think that both of these men are 2 and 4. I think that Dylan will probably clutch it out.
I'm gonna have to pick Dylan too. I don't think Mario puts in the kind of work that Dylan does.
Bick versus Hunter.
I'm gonna have to go with Bick.
I'm also gonna go with Bick. It's a soft Bick though. I feel like that's something I say often. It's a soft Bick because I think that Hunter Hunter has the tools to do it. I don't think Bick's team is like much better than Hunter's. At least like on paper, I think.
I could agree.
They're both pretty good. Drac v Kyle. Oh, this is a.
If there is a man in this league that can take Kyle down, it's Drac.
It's Drac. And so what do you think?
Oh, I'm picking Drac.
You're picking Drac?
Oh yeah.
I'm also gonna pick Drac because I think that his team has a good matchup against Kyle's.
I think Kyle would have lost this week if Manis didn't timeout.
That's definitely up for debate. I think it would have been closer. I don't know if he would have lost, but I'm gonna go with Drac because I think that Drac knows he has to face Kyle. He knows he has to get it together, and I think he's really gonna put in the time to make sure it happens.
I agree.
And lastly, it is myself versus Tristan. Both of us 5-1. Both of us plus 16. I think we're tied. Totally tied.
This Tristan's
this
so
goes
good,
anyway.
but like, oh boy, this could be anyone's game.
It could. I'm scared. I mean, I'm gonna go with myself because, I don't like being self-deprecating.
So, did we vote for the same people the whole time?
Let's see. We did.
You voted for Drac, right?
Yep, I voted for Drac. We voted Prokifan, James, Manny, Jack, Dylan, Bick. Yeah, we voted every single one. We voted the same.
Except for this one so far.
Yep. Go
Oh
for
boy.
it.
You know what? I'm sweeping the week. We're either gonna have a perfect week or we're all gonna be fucked.
Wait, you're picking me?
I'm going with you. Take Tristan down.
Let's go. And that does it for this week's Inside the PFL. It was week 7. It was crazy. We saw an Ancient Power Togekiss. We saw Galarian Slowbro do crazy things again.
Just crazy.
Mike, now, I have a question for you.
Oh boy, what is it?
Now, I see this week. Week 8, it's staring me straight in the face. It's
Right.
red. It's a different color, Mike.
Yeah, it's
Is
warning you.
week 8 the most important week of the season?
Dude, like, it's easily the most important week of the season. Like, I don't even know why you have to ask me this. There's so many Conference Cup games right now. This can not only be the most important week of this season, but no. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. It's at least the most important week of the season, boys. Lots of things get decided this week. People can take their divisions. People can hold their divisions. People can fight for their chance to stay in playoffs. This is the most important week of the season.
And I have to agree. I mean, the roster's lock, 6 Conference Cup games. Every game besides that is vying for a division. Rob v. Dave, 3-3 v. 3-3. Lebo v. James, 3-3 v. 3-3. Dan's fighting for a win. Mike, you're fighting to stay on top. Everybody else has skin in the game. What is going to happen? Find out next time on Inside the PFL.